We're going to be giving you all the ins and outs of this Lincoln event. We've flown all the way to Toronto. We've gotten to the hotel, so just show you the hotel here. We've got a Lincoln event, so hopefully we find out all about future technology, models to come, what's going down with Lincoln, what are their plans for electric vehicles, plug-in vehicles, hybrids, but this is where we're staying, so pretty cool. A lot easier to be away from the family when you've got a nice level of comfort. Now, speaking of comfort, today we're going to be looking at the Lincoln Nautilus with its new tech and features, which will be spread across the entire Lincoln lineup. We're going to look at the Lincoln Aviator, test drive it, put the pedal to the metal on all these vehicles, including the Lexus RX350, the Audi Q7, and yes, the Audi Q7 has some very interesting, surprising and disappointing features. We'll talk about price, and we're going to be talking also about the Lincoln Aviator, about price, features, and the whole kit. We'll be putting the pedal to the metal on all these vehicles, so you get to see comfort and acceleration, as well as how they do in the bendies and the technology and comfort features that they offer. So folks, let's get started, put the pedal to the metal, and take some of these bumps and show you how the Lincoln Nautilus is extremely comfortable.
And this 48-inch digital dashboard, they keep talking about this as the big piece of Canadian content in the Nautilus, because there was a couple of hundred Canadian engineers that worked hard to make this the kind of dramatic interior that it is.
And it's not just the interior that's dramatic. You can see going through these bendies that the tires are actually making noise, and the vehicle is very well put together. It's both comfortable and great in the bendies. So the Lincoln 2024-2025 Nautilus has next to no body roll and a really comfortable suspension. Passing on the highway with this vehicle will be extremely comfortable, and let's check it out on the bumps.
And the bumps as well, especially when we're in normal mode as opposed to the Excite.
Very comfortable over the bumps.
The new Nautilus has great comfort, great handling, very adequate acceleration. The technology in the vehicle is fantastic. So before going off and testing out the Lexus as well as the Audi Q7 and the Lincoln Aviator, let's check out the new technology that's going to be coming to all Lincolns. Some of you will love this spa mode, but it will only be offered on the highest trim.
Go to rejuvenate.
Me, I have to put them.
No, you don't have to. It's going to do it automatically for you. Is the
because he's the passenger.
yeah? Is the engine on right now?
Not the engine, just the accessories.
Yeah, so the engine has to be on.
Yeah, turn it on.
Okay, and then if you go to the preview, I'll walk you through it. So it's going to have a relaxation phase. So it's going to go fully reclined seat. It's going to lift up the steering wheel. It's going to turn down your temperature or turn up, and then it's going to give you massage, and then it's going to go to the invigorate stage. So that'll be over the course of the 5 minutes how it goes through it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to exit.
Welcome to this emergency call.
Just get out of the preview.
Chances are.
And I would turn up the volume a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once I close the door, hit the 5 minutes, and just relax and enjoy.
Here?
Yeah. Because if I open it after.
Is there any different?
Yeah, the other ones are different. I mean, you could preview it, but I recommend the waterfall.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
go with the waterfall
Yeah.
then.
Okay.
I see both.
Okay. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Oh, that smells nice. So this spa
Welcome to
mode
this
is made really to
emergency
get you
call.
into a state of relaxation. You've got the
Chances
music,
are,
you've got
if
the
you're playing
visuals,
the session,
but you also have
you're in
little
need of immediate stress relief.
odor cartridges,
So let's take
and
a
you
few
can pick
moments
from about
to
10
come into
different
our bodies
odor
and engage in some
packages.
deep
Now
breathing.
this one is for a sea
Find a
breeze, and
comfortable
it is
position
actually rather lovely.
with a
It doesn't
straight back.
smell like this heavy chemical
Let your
odor. It actually
shoulders and
smells
hands
pretty
fall
natural,
naturally.
and this is actually
Seashore,
really relaxing.
something.
Getting a
Close your
massage from the seats. Now, unfortunately, for the passenger, you actually have to manually turn on your seat into massage mode before turning this mode on. The vehicle does not detect that a passenger is sitting there and does not automatically turn on the passenger massaging seat when you go into spa mode. Now, the sound system is actually rather incredible. Now, the Revel system, how it works, this is a very high-end home theater system where they go into your home and build the system into your home. Now, for Lincoln to get this company, they had to promise that the company could come in and actually decide how the interior is built. So the vehicle has been built around the sound system, and it does truly offer a superior audio experience. So I'd say the Lincoln Nautilus is a real win in every respect except for resale value. All luxury vehicles take a bigger hit in general on resale value. Now, the resale value isn't Land Rover or Jaguar levels of horrible, but do be prepared that any luxury vehicle does have a greater loss than, let's say, well, a truck. And trucks these days are unbelievably comfortable. The prices have gone up on them. So if you are looking for luxury, do consider test driving the Lincoln Nautilus. You will not be disappointed, folks. The Aviator as well, with its 3-liter twin-turbo V6, is an absolute riot to drive. But definitely check this out. Consider these Lincolns, test drive them. You'll be surprised if you compare to the Cadillac, as I did during this Lincoln event. I was by far more impressed by the Lincoln product. Now we'll get to the Audi test drive. The Audi had a great sounding engine. It has its pros, it has its cons, including having, well, kind of like a bare bones and kind of naked standard edition, which is still in the $80-some thousand and doesn't have cooled seats. But the engine on that Audi Q7 does sound rather fantastic. Now, if you get the hybrid Nautilus, you're probably in your last chances to get a hybrid Nautilus because, well, these are assembled in China, and due to changing laws, the hybrids won't be allowed into the North American market anymore. Mind you, we test drove today the 2-liter turbo, and we were very pleased and impressed with the 2-liter turbo. Everyone at the Lincoln event found that the 2-liter turbo had ample amounts of power, and we weren't disappointed at all when comparing it to the Lexus RX350, which really did feel like a very luxurious version of the Toyota RAV4. So stay tuned. We're going to be test driving those vehicles, and I hope that you're enjoying this spa mode, because I know we were definitely enjoying the spa mode. We actually ran it for several more sessions. We kind of cheated away and took more than just our allotted 5 minutes with this spa mode. Now, I do want to just take a moment to show you the other modes. We've got this Northern Lights mode, and we also have kind of rainy day and mountain mode. So just really enjoyed the different modes that you could have for this spa mode. Really extreme comfort when it comes to the Nautilus. Surprising for the price. Now, the Nautilus prices have gone up, and you will have to pay a premium. This is going to be an option available for 2025, and you will have to get the highest trim on the Lincoln Nautilus, meaning a 203 package. Now let's test the comfort and pedal to the metal action on the Lincoln Aviator. I like the heads-up display. That's nice.
Heads-up display, and then if you press OK on the steering wheel, what you'll also see is we have a map in the cluster screen now, which used to be a big Audi thing with digital cockpit, but we're doing that now too with the digital experience. So it'll come up in a second. There you go.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I like that.
I would argue that it's also a little bit better of an execution, mostly because the map is a little bit higher up, closer to eyeline.
Oh, that is sporty. That's got pick up and go. I expected more body roll, but no, that's nice.
Aviator dynamically obviously hasn't changed too much for this year, and that's definitely not a bad thing because it was already pretty well sorted. Again, the message we would say is that, you know, with Aviator, the main mission is luxury and comfort out on the road. This is a great road trip car.
but the athleticism is there when you need it.
I'm
right?
really surprised. It is there.
And so when you talk about the different brands, I think Q7 posits that it's sporty, and we'll go right behind it if we can. And I would say they drive just as well as each other. They're 9/10ths of each other on the road. Perfect.
That was really comfortable.
Now, the Lincoln Aviator had next to no body roll, a ton of power, and you can even get the plug-in version to have 610 pound-feet of torque, which seems pretty ridiculous, but the 3.5-liter EcoBoost twin turbo is fantastic. Now let's jump into the Audi Q7 and see what they have to offer.
Model with one package on it. No cooled seats, no massage seats, no nothing.
Oh, no cooled seats, and it's $88,000 for the Audi Q7. It's not an S either.
No.
Now for 2025, Audi will be putting this little red line beside their Q models to have you think it's an S.
No, SQ7 starts at about 120,000.
Okay.
And fully loaded is just under 160,000.
I can't believe there's no cooled seats on the as standard.
No, heated seats though. It's got good power.
It makes more noise than the Aviator.
Yeah.
Picking up.
The lapse of time when I push the gas, it's very long.
Yeah. It has
Turbo lag.
one turbo, not two turbo.
Okay.
And only 135 horsepower versus 100. But this one can tow a lot more than the Aviator, so that's one of the good selling points that this one has. 7,700 pounds, which is 2,000 pounds more.
A little bit more body roll on this though. That's surprising.
Yeah, well, it's not.
I don't know if it's body roll,
right?
if it's just me sliding across the seat.
They might be more slippery seats.
Oh,
Not captain seats, right?
I certainly didn't change my pants in between.
Now, the Audi Q7 did sound better, despite it having only 261 horsepower, so a lot less horsepower than the Lincoln Aviator, a lot more money as well, and the standard features are pretty bare bone. They're pretty disappointing, but the 2,000 pounds of extra towing is excellent. Like I said, the engine does sound better, even though it has less horsepower. Price is a downside. Seat comfort is excellent, and it did well in the bendies. Now let's check out the Lexus RX350. It had some really strong points. These were the best seats out of the entire gang of the day because they had the best bolstering. The sides really hold you in place. It feels really, really comfortable. Now the styling, some people will love it, some people will hate it. But one thing you can't argue against is this is the best seller in its category and has the best resale value, as well as the fact that the technology works extremely well. They're extremely reliable. However, I was not as impressed by the technology in this vehicle as the new Lincoln Nautilus. Now, clearly that is a great sounding engine. The acceleration was actually rather fantastic. Now in the bendies, it had the most body roll, and I am more impressed by this interior than the Audi, but the fact that it has so much less screen or technology inside. I do like it less than the Nautilus, but it does well in the bendies, but there is more body roll. It's very dealable because, well, these seats, you can totally acceptable because these seats are the best.
I find the handling's good. It's stiff, but I don't find it better.
Okay.
I really like how the Nautilus has very little body roll, but it's still yet very comfortable.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is that this has less ground clearance and a lower roof height, so you do have a lower center of gravity. So the Nautilus, you know, is doing just as good a job, but with, you know, a build.
A few benefits extra.
Seats out of all the cars, they're the most bolstered. However, the Lincoln Aviator, completely in a different category, price-wise, did have better seats. And of course, Lexus has incredible resale value, and it will have, well, really great reliability and low cost of ownership. But the same can be said for Lincoln's. The cost of ownership is very low at both these brands. Now, if you are looking for low cost of ownership, you'd be surprised. Well, maybe not surprised. Audi will have high cost of ownership, and as will Cadillac. Cadillac and Audi have a very similar cost of ownership. That's talking about maintenance and repairs. Now, the interior of the Cadillac, I'll let you make your own opinion. I think you should go out and try one, test drive one. But I found that there is some surprisingly plasticky looking parts on it. I was disappointed. We didn't get to drive the Cadillac, but we will share some stats on it. The leather, good leather, comfortable seats, but these were the most flat and least bolstered seats of the gang. Like the little technology for the second row, the little console there that the second row has access to, and the third row was livable, but I wouldn't throw an adult in there for hours at a time. The vehicle from the outside of the XT6 Cadillac is beautiful. I really love the look of this Cadillac. I think it looks sleek. Boy, is it ever a good looking vehicle on the outside, but its downside is cost of ownership, repairs, and the plasticky interior. So let's take a look at that. To get in, you can only get in from one side, which would be this passenger side. That's how you get into the third row, and you can see the floor is a little lifted there, so you're going to be losing a bit of space. Not great for adults. Legroom was just enough, and of course the trunk space was pretty low once you have that third row. If you put the third row down, the trunk space is fantastic, but getting in and out was a hassle. I'd say this is more made for kids and teenagers. Look how little space there is, and also focus in on that cup holder. The cup holder is just all plastic, straight from GM Chevrolet. Pretty cheap looking on a luxury vehicle. The back of the seats, they're carpet. Could have done something a little flashier, but hey, that's just pretty standard and normal even across the board for all these luxury vehicles. But the seats look good. Again, they look great, they're comfortable, but they're not bolstered. So don't be whipping this around in the corners if you're doing a highway pass. The kids should always have their seatbelts on, but you will slide around in these seats. So make sure to throw on your seatbelt. But again, the exterior, fantastic. And let's talk about power. Even the brake calipers look great on this vehicle. Now the Cadillac XT6 sort of sits between the Nautilus and the Aviator, and it's a whole lot less vehicle than the Aviator, but it has some advantages in regards to the Nautilus. So it has more power than the Nautilus, has 310 horsepower at 6,600 RPM and 270 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM. You really got to work the engine to get that power out of it, because this is a 6-cylinder non-turbo. It has variable valve timing, which is good for fuel economy. You got 21 miles per gallon as your overall fuel economy. Now that's 18 miles per gallon in the city and 25 miles per gallon on the highway. It weighs 4,644 pounds, so good job not weighing as much as a BMW sedan. It takes regular unleaded, so gasoline, regular gas, like the Aviator, like the Nautilus. Downside to the Audi is that it takes premium gas. Now the Lexus, you can put regular gas in it as well. Now, a huge downside to this is the 4,000 pounds of towing, so that's considerably less than the Aviator or the Audi, but still 500 pounds more than the Lincoln Nautilus. It has a 9-speed shiftable auto. The length overall is 98.5 inches, the width is 77.3 inches, and the height is 69.9 inches, placing it right in between the Lincoln Nautilus and the Lincoln Aviator. It has standard blind spot detection. Lane keeping assist is also standard. Rear cross traffic alert is standard, and it has an 8-inch infotainment standard. So in regards to technology, it is missing just a little bit, but the Boss Premium brand speakers are standard and they are fantastic. So overall, I think the Cadillac is an option worth looking at, but of the entire ones we saw today, I think it's not on the top of the list, that's for sure. Now, what can we expect from Lincoln in the future? I really do not expect any cars to come back, so if you're waiting on that, I'm sorry, folks. And from talking to the heads at Lincoln, I'm not really seeing down the pipeline. They wouldn't comment on it, but I kind of get the feeling we're not going to be seeing any fully electric Lincolns anytime soon. What we might see are more hybrid and plug-in options, or even, I'd say, probably sort of a go in between full gas and full electric, so extended range plugins. And I think that'll be really exciting because it'll allow us to, go on those long family trips without having to pull over and charge, but still have vehicles that will bring us to work, do our daily commute in 100% electric mode. So really great. I really do believe that we're going to see some extended range plugins from Lincoln, which will help Lincoln really compete with these other vehicles that we saw today. The Lexus being the #1 seller for its category, the Audi Q7 being unbelievably popular, but it's worth checking out these Lincoln products and taking them out for a test drive and making your own opinion. Now folks, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please comment, finisher, ask any questions you want in the comment section. I'm here for you. I'm Johnny from Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. Please help this small family business out. Help dress and feed those poodles with a like, a subscribe, and a share. Don't forget to turn bell notifications on. Until next time, we wish you all more cars and more power.